In this video, I will show you the best gaming cell phones you can buy in 2024. I will show you its main technical specifications and their current values. The link for all cell phones is in the video description and in the first pinned comment. Poco X6 Pro. Starting with a cheaper model for those who want to perform well in games, but don't want to spend a lot of money to do so. We have the Poco X6 Pro. Starting with its screen, Poco has a 6.67-inch AMOLED screen. The display has a resolution of 2712 by 1220 pixels, with 446 ppi, and a refresh rate of 120 Hz. To ensure good image contrast, its screen has HDR10+. Its glass is Corning Gorilla Glass 5 to increase its resistance to impacts and scratches. Its screen also has the distinction of having a touch sampling rate of 2160. This rate is 16 times higher than what is common in other cell phones. The touch sample rate is the number of times per second that the screen recognizes your finger's touch. The higher this rate, the greater its accuracy and speed of movement, especially in games that have a lot of movement. Now, talking about its processing. The Poco X6 Pro comes equipped with a Dimensity 8300 Ultra of 3.35 GHz with a Mali G615 as its GPU. As for its RAM memory and internal storage, it has two options, one of 8GB of RAM with 256GB of internal storage and another with 12GB of RAM with 512GB of internal storage. Its RAM is the LPDDR5X standard and its internal storage is in the UFS 4.0 standard. To prevent its processing chip from overheating, the key heat sources are covered by a vapor chamber of 5,000 square millimeters to provide heat dissipation. Its battery has a capacity of 5000 mAh with a turbocharger of 67 watts that can fully charge its battery in 45 minutes. In the cell phone's camera set, its rear has a triple set with 64 megapixels main camera, an 8 megapixels ultra-wide camera, and a 2 megapixels macro camera. Its front camera has 16 megapixels. If you're missing more technical information, I will leave the complete technical specifications of the Poco X6 Pro on your screen now. Its value on the day I'm recording this video varies from $284 to $326. OnePlus 12R. The AMOLED display is 6.78 inches with a resolution of 2780 by 1264 pixels with 450 ppi. Its frame refresh rate is 120 dynamic Hz, which allows the refresh rate to increase or decrease as needed at the time, which helps reduce battery consumption. The touch response rate is up to 1000 Hz. Its glass is a Gorilla Glass Victus 2, and the OnePlus has support for HDR10+. The processor is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Generation 2 with a maximum clock of 3.2 GHz, and its integrated graphics is an Adreno 740. Its RAM memory is 16 GB with internal storage options of 128 GB or 256 GB. Its RAM is in the LPDDR5X standard, but its internal storage is in the UFS 3.1. The vapor chamber of OnePlus 12R is 90,140 square millimeters and can provide a reduction of 7 degrees Celsius in its temperature. To power your system, your battery has 5050 mAh with an ultra-fast charger of 100 watts and can be fully charged in just 26 minutes. As for its cameras, its rear set has a 50 megapixels main camera, an 8 megapixels ultra-wide camera, and a 2 megapixels macro camera. Its front camera has 16 megapixels. These are the technical information about the OnePlus 12R, and its price on the day this video was recorded varies from $379 to $474. Asus Zenfone 11 Ultra. Now move on to an Asus model. Let's get to know the Asus Zenfone 11 Ultra. It has a 6.78-inch AMOLED screen with a resolution of 2400 by 1080 pixels and 388 ppi. The frame rate is variable and can reach up to 120 Hz, but the cell phone can also reach 144 Hz when gaming. Its glass is a Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. It has support for HDR10, 10-point multi-touch, and support for Glove Touch. Its processor is a Snapdragon 8 Generation 3 with a clock of 3.3 GHz, and its GPU is the Adreno 750. The Asus has two memory options, 12 or 16 GB of RAM and 256 or 512 GB of internal storage. Its RAM is LPDDR5X and its internal storage is in the UFS 4.0 standard. The 11 Ultra's battery has 5,500 mAh of capacity with wire charging of up to 65 watts and wireless charging of up to 15 watts. In its set of rear cameras, it has a 50 megapixels main camera, a 13 megapixels ultra-wide camera, and a 32-30 camera. Its front camera is 32 megapixels. This is your technical information, and its value on the day of recording this video is $699. Redmagic 9 Pro. The Redmagic 9 Pro is the next model on our list, but before we talk about him, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. Here you will receive several lists with the best cell phones models to buy, be they the cheapest, with the best cameras, for gaming, and a variety of other categories. Welcome, and let's continue with the video. It has a 6.8-inch AMOLED screen with a resolution of 2480 by 1116 pixels with a density of 400 ppi. It has a frame refresh rate of up to 120 Hz, a touch sample rate of 2000 Hz, and its glass material is Corning Gorilla. As a differentiator for gamers, Redmagic has triggers built in the sides of the cell phone, something that can especially help FPS gamers. The processor the cell phone uses is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Generation 3. It has the options of 12GB or 16GB of RAM and 256GB of internal storage or 512GB. Its RAM memory is the LPDDR5X standard and its storage is in the UFS 4.0 standard. To cool its chipset, the cell phone has the Magic Ice 3.0 system with a vapor chamber of 10,182 square millimeters, which allows a decrease of up to 25 degrees Celsius in the core of your CPU. In addition, the device also has a 22,000 RPM cooling fan. Its battery has 6,500 mAh with an 80 charge that can charge the device in just 35 minutes. Redmagic has a set of rear cameras made up of two 50 megapixels cameras and one 2 megapixel camera. On the front, its camera has 16 megapixels. Here is your technical information, and on the day I am recording this video, the cell phone is out of stock, but click on the link in the description to check if it's available again. Asus ROG Phone 8 Pro. Now with the last gaming cell phone model on our list, we have the Asus ROG Phone 8 Pro. The cell phone has a 6.78-inch AMOLED screen with a resolution of 2400 by 1080 pixels with a PPI density of 338. Its refresh rate is 120 Hz and it can reach 165 Hz. Its screen supports HDR10 and its glass is Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Its processor is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Generation 3. For its RAM and storage, the cell phone has 16 GB of RAM and 512 GB of internal storage. The RAM memory is LPDDR5X standard and the internal storage is UFS 4.0 standard. The ROG Phone also has triggers built on the body of the cell phone with the ability to recognize different types of gestures. To keep the device cool, it has a Game Cool 8 structure, which has a 360-degree Generation 2 socket cooling system. Its battery has 5,500 mAh with a 65 charge, which can fully charge the cell phone in just 39 minutes. In addition, it also has 15-watt wireless charging. In its rear cameras, the ROG Phone 8 Pro has a 50 megapixels main camera, a 32 megapixels camera, and a 13 ultra-wide camera. Its front camera is 32 megapixels. Its value on the day of recording this video is $949. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel here to always receive the best lists with the best cell phones to buy. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.